so this is going to be part 2. So, long story short, to wrap it up, I made a longer video. I kind of rambled a little bit. My edible kicked in. I've been passing a kidney stone. My sister's cat died, and there's been a whole lot of stuff going on, right? So, anyway, let me see if I can make this shorter. I made a longer version of this, but long story short, I was dealing with like these people online who were asking me for plant medicine knowledge, and I was like, yo, bro, I can't just give that to you. You could be anyone. And then they got all pissy about it. And point being, you'll get that, especially like if you study the things I study. I've been studying ethnobotany and plant medicine for like the last 10 years now. And people will ask you, hey, can you get me legally high? And you'll get all kind of stupid questions. And it's like, yeah and no. Like, I don't just do that. And that needs to be taken as highly serious, highly sacred, as it should. And it's not to be just randomly, openly discussed over a Facebook post chat. Oh my gosh. Seriously. And you'll meet like these people who will either be there for a lesson, they'll be there for a season, some show up for a lifetime. You have to use your discernment. There's people that will show up for you and act like they're really, really invested and think you're the coolest thing and person on the planet, but really they just want to try to see what they can learn or emulate, pretty much. And I dealt with like all of these people, right? Some people are rocks, some people are pillows. It's like some are like fluffy and cushiony, but then they flatten out, and then you deal with like your rock people, which is like your pillars, which is like your, you know, your mom, your dad. Well, maybe not necessarily my mom. My mom is like a wire. She's not real happy right now because she got her teeth pulled. She looks like she got punched in the face, but she didn't get punched in the face. That woman, even though she's in her mid-60s, I promise you, if she were to actually go through that altercation, there is like a 90% chance, even at like 65, she can dodge it. Like, my money's on her to dodge it. Like, yes, trust me. She's something else like that. Speaking of plant knowledge, my sister's friend, who works in law enforcement with my sister. My family does medical law enforcement. I'm entrepreneurial like some of them. Told her that death comma lilies were wild onions, and she put them in a soup, cooked the soup with beans, ate it, and then called me and asked me. She knew I had the knowledge. She had no backup information for this woman having any knowledge like that. Yeah, she could have asked me the whole time. Yeah, she did that, and then she called me after. I said, she ended up having to take Epicac. And I was like, and then complained. I was like, and I yelled at her. Oh my gosh. And then this friend of hers, like, people had this issue, like, my mother and a group of friends, I had to teach them the difference between elderberries and pokeberries. Because if you eat pokeberries are poisonous. Very poisonous. But elderberries, they still need coke, they fine. It's like I had to draw the berry bunching for them different. It was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I've been working on like a meditation that connects the mind and the body with like my stress disorder, and also I talked about that like on the other video about what that kind of is like, that entails. Anyway, so the other thing was too, I also have to go make dinner for some people here very soon, so I'm going to try to do this quick. I talk about bullying on my other videos, right? I need Gatorade. I'm passing a kidney stone. I talk about bullying on my other videos, right? I dealt with this person who was all lovey-dovey, and she came across, I mean, as like a specter, but like her first impression was great, but her second one was lousy. I mean, it was weird. It was like I was having this experience of just kind of seeing right through that person. We was on like this spiritual thing together up to a point, and basically I think she was meant to be a medium, and I tried to tell her that she needed to work through this energy, and she's, I don't know. She's just somebody that has to have the experience firsthand to learn. I gently tried to tell her several times too, like, your answers you're getting, I think, are kind of off, because she gave several false confirmations. It was more of the energy of what I think you or me wants to hear, not what's actually grounded that spirit is telling me. She couldn't ground herself and cycle through the energy the way she needed to have the energy, because it was like the way she was going, she was like just opening up her doors, like, and she was doing these things too, to where she was doing ceremonials. And I literally told her, I said, I think you need to, be more careful with those. At one point I said, I hope you're being careful with those. And then she's doing this, she's opening herself up, and she's meeting people just because she's one that has casual relations, and you can't do that on a spiritual path. So it was like, I watched not only that, but it was like I watched this energy come through. I tried to tell her, and then I also watched her have a falling out with just about every family member she stayed with. And like everybody she was close proximity with at one time was just like, and I was watching how she did with her other friends, her other family members, and things like that. And I'm sort of just taken aback, and I'm observing her, because I'm observing an energy pattern in this person. And it's like I'm trying to tell her, and it's like short of just like jerking a nod at her going, yo, you're being a dumb bitch with this. You need to stop your shit. This is what you're causing yourself. But then that would have taken me back to a karmic energy too that I was trying to pull myself out of. So to meet her there in that energy, it was like, for some reason, my spirit guides came in too. Like, I had my grandmothers come in, the ones that usually wear the turbans. Turbans are like a both African and native thing with us. Anyway, so they came in, and like literally it was just like I got to see right through her. And the weird part was, it was like right about the time, like a bit earlier in that year, I'm thinking, I'd like to actually get my money organized. I'm about to get all this stuff organized and put together, because it was taking some time just to get all the loose ends tied up, and now I'm like right there, which is really exciting. And actually come meet you and see you and kick it with you and see what you're like. But then this thing came forward with me, like from my ancestors, my guides, that was, don't even bother getting a plane ticket, don't go down there. Like literally I heard and I was like, her no, not this person. She's the sweetest thing in the world, no, at that time. And I was like, oh, come on, you guys, really, her? And I didn't want to believe it. Also, I don't like how like this ended between us, by the way, me and this person, just because I really thought a lot of them at a point. And our last conversation, though, right? Our last conversation we had, it was like, she just, oh, for the love of Ham. I did not ever take this woman for this stupid and immature. Like, literally, this sounded like a stupid little 12-year-old talking to me, actually. I just need to say something. I think you're judging me, and okay, here's what she said. Alright, I wrote this down just so it helps y'all. Okay, first off, I think you're judging me. When I took a step back, because I was observing how she was doing business with herself and others, now she really wasn't trying to listen. So I just sort of took a step back, and I was like, okay, now how can I help her? What can I do? Right? And that's kind of what I was thinking. And then that other thing came forward as I was thinking that, from the ancestors, the guides. So I feel like you're judging me. So that means I'm judging you because I've noticed a change in your energy I don't like. So there's something, I feel like I'm being, because I'm seeing through you, right? And she basically goes on to say, you're holding on to all this BS. All these subjects you talk about, I can't stand. I'm not sure about this friendship anymore. Okay, do you know what that says in between lines, right? You're holding on to all this BS. I'm holding on to BS. Because actually, at that time, I really wasn't even really thinking much about her. I was focused on trying to get a lot of stuff organized, actually. And I was trying to get myself, you know, out of a dysregulation. I was just extremely fatigued. I was finally, actually, I was dealing with like a immune system thing a little bit. I got really sick around that time too. Um, so all those subjects you talk about, I can't stand. So therefore, that translates over to, I only can accept a variant of you, not all of you, and I will not meet you in the energy of this version of self that I cannot accept, that I am uncomfortable with. I'm not sure about our friendship. I'm not sure if I want this friendship. Well, that actually was just being honest. And so I then tried to tell her after that, right then I said, well, let's talk about this then. And as I said, well, there's a duality to me, right? And like I tried, and even before I got to, I was taken aback because I was concerned. I'm just going to have to let you go. So, and then she hangs up. So I want to project crap at you. I want to dismantle you. I don't like the new self you're becoming. And I need you back here with me because this is the version of you that I'm comfortable with. And I don't want you moving along this energy to where I cannot go. And the I just need to let you go means I don't care to hear myself being corrected over something that I'm choosing to project. And it just like, I thought about it for a little bit, and boy did it make me mad. Because it was like, oh, how dare you. Everybody in my life has used that. That was the exact poison darts that everybody has shot at me for like the longest time. And I was like, no, that is the exact venom dart that everybody else is at me. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to act all nicey nice and cute and play in my face, say I love you and you're my friend, and then just fling that kind of shit at me. And so I waited. I waited about a week. I waited about 5 days or so. They didn't come forward. They didn't say, hey, I'm sorry I did that to you. Because before I had told her not to open up at me with just like, this energy of this is your spiritual message. And I was like, and just like, this energy of this is like this, if I could do her, oh my gosh. It's like, whoa. And I warned her about that. I said, don't do that to me. And that was if I tell you once, twice is too many times. So that's twice. And she, I just was flabbergasted too, because she could have come forward and made that right at any time. She just didn't. And now it's like, I really just don't care. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, thanks for lesson, peace out, wish you luck. Bye. Bye, Felicia. I don't need that. I don't need that like I need another busted knee. Like, honestly. And it's like, you just about triggered something really bad, because I can guarantee you, if she did that to me in person, I've been dealing with like this fight or flight anger thing. And it does this thing with my intuitive stuff too. And it's like, you could have really got yourself hurt by pulling that energy with me. You really could. And since you don't truly know any better than to be that big of a half-wit, sweetie, then I don't need this. Because it's like the woman acts like an overgrown teenager. I don't know. And I don't, it's just, my grandma always had like this thing about how like a well behaved, well bred woman should be. Like, we actually had one side of her family that came from like British nobility that also had like these heady issues bad. And I don't know. I don't know what their deal is, but God love you, heaven help you, because the world can't. That's it. And you know, just what I saw in those people was like, you know, and it's like, you know, I hope you untangle yourself. I hope you heal, because you all is one big old knot, and you're choosing that reality. Okay. So I think I'm gonna end this video here. I want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Let me ask y'all, on your journey like this, what had been some things like this? Because there's like these people that are like really incorrigible. I don't know. And it's like, I know I have to be careful with the incorrigible people too, because it was this karmic, there's a karmic energy that some people end up right at the precipice of like their spiritual journey like that, to where like they're, and then they're looking for any way in because there's this other karmic energy behind them. But that's only for like some select people. Anyway, I hope y'all is keeping it real and staying safe out there and using your discernment and staying tapped into your intuition. And I want to thank y'all for watching, and you have a good day. Peace. All right.